Hi, today we will be learning about Pydantic. So, this Pydantic is pretty much popular, means like it is getting a lot of traction right now while we are developing AI. So, for example, companies like Hugging Face, companies like LangChain, companies like Fast API. So, all of these people are trying to leverage Pydantic. So, what exactly this Pydantic? So, in order to understand, so like in simple lines, Pydantic is a data validation library in Python. So, which is developed the back end of this Pydantic going to be Rust. So it going to be comparatively faster. But why exactly this Pydantic? One need to learn it. So why one need to understand this Pydantic library? So now, for example, there are two types of typing. One is called as static typing. Another one is called as a dynamic typing. So what exactly meant by static typing is, for example, programming languages like Java, Rust, C++, Golang, all of this relies on your static typing. So what does it mean by it? So before you are executing a variable, means like the data type of a variable need to be allocated prior. So like what exactly it going to do? The data type going to be checked before or while it is compiling. That's what it is doing it. So like in a static typing. For example, take this particular syntax. Now I defined age variable data type as integer and I allocated a value like 30. Now into this variable age, I'm trying to provide the string data like 30. So like what exactly happens, it may not run. So like going to throw you with another, the reason why already you set the age as an integer data type. So now it may not accept your string data. You may not accept what string data. So the same challenge, so like this kind of, so like this going to help us in one thing, which is called as if you set a particular variable and its data type, so user cannot feed a wrong kind of data. So that it going to, so based on that what happens, it may not throw us a lot of errors. So while you are dealing, especially for example, I'm doing mathematical computation. Let's imagine now the data it going to take is only integer data or a float data, but users are provided somewhere around string data, or while it is extracting the data through an API, it is able to extract a string data. So because of that, the program going to give us a lot of errors. So in order to overcome that, so what exactly, so Python want, now Python want to overcome that. For that reason, so there is a library called as Pydantic, which is helping us to achieve this static typing. So now that's what we are doing. If you are able to go back to Python, which uses what? Dynamic typing. So now I allocated variable age where the data type is 30. Now I have provided, which is obviously integer. Now into the same age, while I'm trying to write string data 30, it's going to overwrite integer with a string data. So that's what's happening. Now the users are having any kind of comfort to enter any type of data. I want to control that. So for that reason, so they came up with what? Pydantic, which is a data validation library, as I said, developed on top of Rust. And companies like LangChain, Hugging Face, all of these people are using it. Now, there are three major benefits using Pydantic. The number one going to be IDE type hints. So, like while you are trying to, for example, see this, in order to use Pydantic, just simply say pip install Pydantic. And within this Pydantic, you can even come up with a data type for email as well. So like email validation, then saying data type, it's a email validation. So for that, I'm using Pydantic email. Now is a very easy one. For example, now I'm importing the from Pydantic import base model, and even I'm importing email string. So like the purpose of this email string going to be to validate email structure. For example, email is going to be abc@gmail.com or abc at some ayb at .com, something like that. So now it need to have that string. For example, now see this, I created a simple class where the class is user, and into that I'm just calling this base model. And now what I'm trying to do is I provided ID going to be an integer, username going to be string, and email going to be string. For example, email string. Instead of that, let me call it as string and is active boolean true. Now, for example, I'm just trying to use user ID 1 and username Kant and email kant@bepec.in. Obviously, it may not throw me with any error. Now, I'm trying to remove this email structure. So like I'm removing email structure, just I called it as Kant. So even though it is not raising any issue, it's not raising any error. So now the email box or the data need to take only email data. For that reason, what exactly we are doing, instead of string, if I'm changing it with email string, so now what going to happen? Let me run it. And now let me run this. It's going to throw me with an error. One validation error for the user. value is not a valid email address. So it is able to identify that email structure. Now I just replaced it with kant@bpec.10. And when I run it, yes, now it is able to execute it. The reason it is able to have that email structure so that it is not throwing us with any error. Now username going to be Kant, so it's going to be string data. Instead of that, I just passed 1, 2, 3. And when I executed, again it going to throw me with an error. So now this helping us in lines of a data validation. And apart from it, as I said, the Pydantic is having what? The type int. So now while you created this particular object, and if you are writing user dot, you're able to get the various elements. So like you're able to get what exactly you have it. So email you have it, ID you have it. So like all the related hints, you're able to get it for a supported IDEs, like especially VS Code and all of that. And now second one going to be data validation. We got email validation, as well as you are able to create custom validation as well. So the second benefit we have is like data validation, we checked it, and within data validation, custom validation. So what exactly custom validation? Apart from what exactly available in Pydantic, you are able to create your own validations as well. So as part of your own validations, here I just created one small example. Now I created a product class, and where the data type is string, name, and product is price is float, category is string. So in order to insert data into price and category, there is a certain condition. So here, so like I'm creating a field validator. So this is helping me to create a new validation rule. So now I'm able to set a new validation rule. So what exactly the rule is? Now I'm calling this as a class method. The reason is I want to run this below function for a particular class, not an object. For that reason, I'm using a class method. So now what exactly this function is doing? Check positive prices. For example, now this particular price should not take anything of your negative values. It need to take only positive values. For that, I created a small function. And the same thing works for check category as well. The category is going to be only these categories are allowed, other categories are not allowed. For example, electronics, clothing, and home. That's it. So users cannot allocate more categories. Now here, I created this particular function and now or the class. Now let me, instead of, for example, the price, I'm writing it in negative. So now it's going to throw me with a validation error. The reason the price is in negative. All right, let me remove the negative. It is not throwing me with any error. Now in the categories, there is electronics. Let me remove electronics, only yes. So now again, it is throwing me with an error. Hey, this particular category is not allowed. Now you are able to create your own custom validations as well based on your requirement. So like for that, again, Pydantic going to be pretty much helpful. And finally, now, when you are trying to work on data science project or any of this data engineering projects, so like basically we connect with APIs in order to extract the data. While you are extracting the data going to be extracted in a JSON format. So the data going to be extracted in a JSON format, something like this. Now, even the JSON data also can be easily passed. So with the help of this Pydantic, it's easily, you are able to pass it. Now see, I created a new class called as order ID, items, total amount, and discount code. So this data need to be captured. So like this data need to be captured from a JSON. So like this is a JSON input, we got it. And we want to extract the data from this JSON and we want to allocate it into this particular order IDs, items into this particular variables. So like this is very easy with the help of Pydantic library. If you are able to notice by using this particular function, model validate JSON. So like by using this orders.model validate JSON, if I'm able to feed that JSON data, automatically it is able to allocate that data and it is able to allocate it into that particular variables of that particular class. So these are the benefits we have it. So with the help of Pydantic library, and this Pydantic we frequently use it while I'm building agentic AI solutions or while I'm doing some RAG architectures or prompt engineering. I think this Pydantic plays a crucial role in lines of data validation. So now if you are trying to get into AI or agentic AI or MCP, get a hands dirty on your Pydantic. And even one more, in case if you have some time, explore even fast API library as well. These are very important before you're getting into AI or agentic AI kind of elements. Thank you.